So for today's video, I brought some show and tell. Now you might not recognize these little plants, but they're actually tomatoes. Well, not tomatoes, but the plant that's going to produce the tomatoes. Now, the interesting thing of these plants is that it's so important that you prune the branches that do not produce any flowers, which will produce the fruit or the tomatoes. And so another thing is to remove any of the dead branches, because obviously that takes energy from the plant that you want to go to the fruit. Even when I was in Australia, we were encouraged on a banana farm to remove all the leaves except for 7, and you wanted to actually keep the better leaves and the ones that would shade the bananas. And so this is what Jesus is promising us in our gospel reading, is that he promises to be with us, but also to produce fruit through us. It's so important that we envelope our day with prayer. If I begin my day with prayer, the experience of that prayer can spill into the rest of my day. And we need to ultimately stay connected to our vine to produce good fruit. And what is this fruit? This fruit is the fruit of the Holy Spirit: peace, love, joy, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, kindness, and self-control. I might have missed one along the way, but you get the idea. And what a great gift it is that our God will act in us and through us so that we can bear fruit for the world. Fruit that will benefit the world. In our first reading from the Acts of the Apostles, the other thing that's important is that we stay connected to people. We would say the second most important thing in life next to God or after God is our friends and our family, people that we relate with, people that we journey with. And so it's a good thing that Barnabas is willing to accept Paul, because nobody else is initially. But Barnabas is a man of encouragement. He's also a man of love, and therefore he is willing to accept Paul and introduce him first to the apostles and then to the Christian community. And we can see the change of Paul as he will argue with the Hellenists, that is to say Greek-speaking Jewish people, to try to bring them to faith. Now, the most important thing of our faith, though, is love. The greatest commandment that Jesus gives us is love one another as I have loved you. Now, of course, this is a challenge, but this is something that we cooperate with by being connected to our vine so that our God can act in us and through us and offer love to others. And the most important thing is we actually come to be the God that we believe in. If I believe in a God that's loving, that's merciful, that's forgiving, then I will put these into practice. Now, of course, it may be a process at time. I may not be so quick to forgive. I may find it challenging to love other people, but this is my way of life, because this is the God that I believe in. And so even in the reading, it says, even though we know that we're going to stand before our God, we stand in confidence because we know our God is merciful, even when we don't live up to these great characteristics of our faith. And so as we gather around the table, Lord, this is one of the easiest ways to stay connected to our God. And Jesus offers this teaching during the Last Supper. So it does point to the Eucharist. And so once again, we are connected to our vine. We receive Jesus Christ within our hearts so that we can give Jesus Christ to our world. What a blessing it is to be partners with our God so that we can journey with others and produce good fruit for the life of our world.